welcome back. Hope that you're having an excellent New Year's weekend. I am kind of bummed because I've been off work for like a week and a half and tomorrow it's back to the old grind. So I have tried to record as many videos as possible to get up on my channel for you guys, ranging from all kinds of different topics. And that's why I wanted to do this video today, because I feel like I've done a lot of research about how to do this particular makeup thing, apply this items, put on the... Anyway, this video is about how to properly apply your foundation primer, or primer in general. There's a lot of like techniques and tricks and tips out there on the internet, and I've actually done some research as to how you should apply and what's best and kind of what works best and how the skin looks after you apply the primer in this way. And I have found that my foundation has changed so much by doing this particular technique, as you guys will see in my updated foundation video, which I'll link here. Let's go ahead and jump right in and I will show you guys how I apply my foundation primer. Okay, you guys, so my first kind of tip to you is to always make sure that you have clean hands, because a lot of the time when we get breakouts, we don't realize that it's because we apply our makeup or apply our products with hands that are not clean. And so we tend to have a lot of bacteria on our hands, obviously from touching all kinds of different surfaces. So it's really important that you have clean hands when you're touching your face. I always wash and sanitize both of my hands before I apply my primer and anything else I'm going to apply to my face with my hands. So that's kind of a really important step that I just wanted to mention before we move on. So the next thing you're going to need is some kind of flat surface. I have my little mixing plate. It's stained with some foundation, but anyway, you want to make sure that this is also sanitized. So I just wiped it down with some sanitizer paper towel. But you want to make sure that any surface you use, again, is clean. This will prevent breakouts. It will prevent just like abscesses to your face, infection, anything that could happen. So you want to have a clean flat surface and a brush for your primer. So I just got done washing this, that's why it's a little flat. But this is my primer brush because I only use it for primer, and that is also important as well in this process. You want to have a brush specifically for your primer. Now, a lot of people apply primer with their hands, and I am going to apply the second step, the second primer, or the third and fourth primer. I use 4 primers, okay? Don't judge me. So I'm going to use the last 2 with my hands. So first, let's go ahead and go in with my first 2 primers. The primers I have been loving right now because they are hydrating and they mix so well together are the Too Faced Hangover RX, and this is the Replenishing Face Primer. So this has the coconut oil in it. So this is the Too Faced Hangover RX Primer. And then I also have been loving the Becca First Light Priming Filter. Now I did use at one point the Becca, the backlight primer, the one that has the shimmer in it, and I liked it, but I started to use the MAC Strobe Cream mixed in with my foundation, so I stopped using that because it gave me like a double glow. So this one is more of a hydrating primer, and they mix really well together. So I'm just going to take the 2 and I'm going to apply them onto my mix. It's so dirty on that side. I'm going to apply them on top of my mixing plate, and I'm just going to do 2 squirts of the Too Faced to 1 squirt of the Becca. And then I'm going to mix them together with my brush so that I have them both equally on my plate. And then I'm just going to use my brush and I'm going to apply my primer to my face in downward strokes. Now you want to try and use a little bit of pressure as you are putting the primer into your skin, because the reason why we have primer, or we use primer, is because it's kind of like a paint primer, or you know, when you're painting a car or painting a house, it kind of sets the foundation for your foundation essentially. And if you don't apply it properly, then the foundation that you wear is not going to look as good as it could. So you just want to kind of distribute as evenly as possible. And don't forget your neck, because a lot of us do wear foundation on our neck, and a lot of the time we don't put primer on our neck, and you should. I mean, you're putting primer everywhere else on your face that you're putting your foundation, so it's important to also put the primer on your face as well, or on your neck as well. Okay, so I've got that pretty evenly distributed. Now I'm going to move on to my last 2 primers. And this is where the clean hands come in. So the primers I've been loving for filling in my pores, this one just came out from Benefit and it's really good. It's the Lightweight Silky Soft Pink Professional, and I really love the original Professional, but this one just gives my face that extra glow. And then I'm going to be using the No Problem primer, and this is actually by Touch and Soul. It's a primer from Korea, and it sold at Sephora for $18. And this, if I could only choose one, this would be it, because it hydrates and it fills in pores. This is my third bottle, you guys. I highly recommend it. If you're gonna go out and get any of these primers, I highly recommend going to Sephora and picking up the No Problem primer. So I'm going to place a little bit of the Benefit primer on my finger, and then I'm going to mix that with the Touch and Soul primer, and I just want to do 2 squirts of this one. Now here's where a lot of the time people forget with pore primers, you can't just lay them on your skin, you know, kind of like I did the other primer. You really have to work this into your pores. So I'm just mixing that with my fingers, and here's the trick, okay? When you lay your primer down, especially a pore primer, you want to use your fingers, the warmth of your hands, to really work in the pore primer. Now most of my pores are in my cheeks and in my nose. So what I want to do is I really want to work this primer into my cheeks, into my nose here, and then just kind of distribute the rest on my forehead and down my neck. But I really want to take these primers and work them in using this technique, because this is how it fills in your pores. If you're just putting them on, you know, a pore primer particularly, and you're just kind of swiping it, it's not going to do the job. You really have to get the pore primer into your skin, especially the places where you have the pore issues. Mine are particularly here and on my nose really bad. So that's how my foundation applies flawlessly. And I did an updated foundation routine, you guys, on my channel. So if you're interested in that, if you're interested to see how the foundation looks with the primer, then go ahead and check out that video. But I will also do my outro with my foundation on, so you guys can kind of see at the end how the foundation looks. And you really want to work this in until your face is completely dry of the primer. So however long it takes, work it into your skin. And then the warmth of your fingers is really gonna kind of get that primer in there as well. That's why you need clean hands, because you're pressing your hands into your face. So, all right, you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and apply the rest of my face makeup, do my full face, and then I will be back to show you how the primer looks underneath my foundation and how I get the flawless finish on my foundation using the NARS. I think it's like the Luminous foundation, the NARS Luminous foundation. I'll list it here, but how it looks using this primer technique. So stay tuned at the end of the video and I'll show you guys how my foundation looks. Okay guys, so I went ahead and finished applying my makeup, and I just wanted to come back on camera really quick and show you how I feel my foundation looks 10 times better than when I used to wear the primer and had a different technique that I do now. I just feel more confident wearing my foundation. It doesn't look as cakey. It doesn't look as, you know, like you can't see my pores as much as you could before. So I did just want to come on really quickly and show you guys just kind of a an overall look. Here we go. This is how the foundation looks now that I have learned this new technique, or perfected this technique, as you would say. I used to have my pores showing here, but my skin is a lot less a lot more poreless than it was before. So that's all I have, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys are interested in more videos like this, where I do research and kind of investigate makeup techniques. And yeah, let's have a conversation, you guys. Like, share, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Please do so. I would really love it if you became part of the Edgy fam. Hope you have a great new year. Remember to be happy, healthy, and safe, and live life to the fullest. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. I'll see you all in my next video. Take care.